Well, one day, God was looking down at earth, and he saw all this rascally behavior going on down here. And he called one of his angels, and he sent that angel to earth for a time to check it out. When the angel returned, he told God, yep, it's bad down there on earth. 95% of the people are misbehaving, and only 5% are not. God thought for a moment and said, well, maybe I better send down a second angel to get another opinion. So he called another angel down to earth, and when the second angel returned, yep, it's true, God. The earth is in decline. 95% are misbehaving, and there's only 5% that are not. God was not pleased, so he decided to email the 5% who were being good, because he wanted to encourage them to keep doing good, to give them a little something to keep going. Do you know what the email said? I didn't get one either. You're going to miss me when I'm gone. And I'm not gone. I will be gone for 4 Sundays. And Michael and I are taking a excited, anxious, going to Florida to visit our families. We're going to be all over the state, and it's a real treat to be able to take this time away. And I just want to give you a heads up that I am going to be gone 4 weeks and 4 Sundays, and 3 of those weeks I am taking totally off. Good. Totally. So... Minister's assistant over there is like, dude, she's going to have a party, apparently. But truly, for 3 weeks, I won't be answering anything. And so it's all in place for everybody. You're in good shape. You are in really good shape. Our board president, Michelle, and her board are amazing. Judy, Mazes, Kim Lee, Joe Higgins. It's all in good shape as far as the business runnings and our chaplains. I can't say enough about the chaplain support that we have here. So I know that you are in good hands. So know that the voicemail's checked twice a day. Judy checks the email if prayer requests come in. So just know that we're here. So I don't want you to think that just because I'm gone, church can still thrive. And that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to see all these years, and it's happened. So, it's all about intention. Today we are remembering something simple and yet also powerful. It's all about intention. Isn't it funny, the Daily Words name is intention? But where this came from was me visiting Bob Vogus, our beloved departed from this plane, Bob Vogus, who I would go and see on a weekly basis as he was making his transition. And every single time that I went to see him, he would grab my hands and look right into my eyes and say, Kathy, it's all about intention. He went so peacefully at home. He made his transition so easy for his family that surrounded him. He made his transition easier for me because of the conversations that we would have about intention. And he understood that as an amazing healer. Bob was an amazing healer, him and Linda both. And he understood that, and what made him amazing as a healer was because when he was present with you, it was all about intention. When he was sending energy, he was 100% intention in what he was doing. And I found this quote I loved, Snoopy and Charlie Brown. I am at a place in my life where peace is a priority. Anybody with Charlie Brown on that? I'm at a place in my life where peace is a priority. I make deliberate choices to protect my mental, emotional, and spiritual state. I make deliberate, intentional choices to protect my mental, emotional, and spiritual state. I love that you're taking pictures of these slides, because that's another way we get our message out to the world, is by sharing these pictures on your Facebook, TikTok, I don't care, whatever form it is, Instagram, getting our message out. So my first point today on this topic is peace begins with a conscious choice. Conscious choice. I ought to say conscious and deliberate choice. Let's go to that next one, please. This might be hard to read, so I'll say it. Softness, kindness, and patience hold more power than force. I see shaking heads. You know that, right? Softness, kindness, and patience have more power than force. In a world that often values strength and urgency, the gentle touch of love and understanding shows a deeper resilience. A gentle touch of love and understanding show a deeper sense of resilience. Not this, right? I don't wait for peace. I used to wait around for peace until I realized in Unity's teachings that it's all an inside job. Everything in my life, I'm sorry, but it's a freaking inside job. And that doesn't always make it easy, does it? No. But it's about looking in the mirror, Marcy. Looking in the mirror at whatever's going on out there. I need to look in here so that I can claim and act on my truth that I know. But it seems so easy to blame them, right? And somebody in Sunday morning class, said, one of the jobs that they see doing is to forgive myself first. And that's looking in the mirror, right? Myrtle Fillmore said, peace is the divine idea of harmony and rest expressed in the mind and in the body. In the mind and in the body is where peace and this divine idea of harmony come from. Let's go to that next one, please. Peace begins from within. If you are not peaceful inside, the world you see will be chaotic. I almost didn't show this one because I didn't know how you'd take it. But then I kept reading it and saying to myself, this is important. This is important. I don't want to take any blame for the chaos that's going on out there. Do you? I want to blame them, whoever's them, right? But think about it. We didn't get in this division mess overnight, right? We are being called more. And I know I'm like addicted to the monks walking for peace right now. But their message is solid. It is about if we don't get peace within, we're not going to experience peace in our world. So the second point that I want to make here is intention creates a pause instead of a reaction. There's a Native American wisdom, I love this quote. When you make a decision, the universe listens. Have you noticed? Either way you go, the universe is listening. So when I make a decision to get hooked by something somebody said or did, the universe is listening, because how come when I do that, I get hooked, then even more of that crud comes at me. And I think, I can't get a break. I can't get a break. Well, who did this? I did it to myself. Because I'm putting it out there, and the universe is saying, okay, I guess that's what Kathy wants. I'll give her some more. It's a big lesson here. Let's go to that Buddha quote. Whoop. There we go. What you think, you become. What you feel, you attract. What you imagine, you create. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you can. Right? What you can imagine, you can create. So if you can imagine yourself moving into a peaceful state, you can create peace within yourself. That's a unity statement, people. That is a unity statement. Eric Butterworth, who's one of our most famous authors that we go to, says, we do not find peace by rearranging circumstances in our lives. We find peace by realizing that the presence is within us. That the presence is within us. I don't know about you, but I can get hooked into thinking that once these circumstances change, then I'll have peace. We'll have peace. Once circumstances with my daughter changes, we'll have peace. But it isn't about trying to change her or change the whatever she's doing. It's about, I gotta change. And go to the Mel Robbins theory, let them, which is hard to do. Let them. I almost said a bad word. Oh, gosh. Okay, get in your right thinking. Kathy? Intention creates a pause instead of a reaction. And that's what Bob Voges was trying to teach me on our Wednesdays with Bob Voges and Rev Kathy days. He was trying to teach me that you've got to pause in order to name your intention. You can't do it when you're in a reactionary mode. You gotta pause, get into right thinking, and then name your intention for yourself. I am doing what I said, and I think I shared it last week. I don't know, or maybe it was on Chit Chat on Mondays. I'm doing what the monks said they do. Get up in the morning and say, today is my peaceful day. And I'm setting an intention. Do I do it perfectly? No. You can ask Michael and my daughter, the two closest people to me. I don't do it perfectly. But I know what to do to get myself back into right thinking. And that is to separate myself from a situation and go where I can experience quiet. And I can move into right thinking again. You know, I don't think I'll ever get done saying pause, pray, and proceed. It just keeps every Sunday, I'm like, this is the key. This is the key to getting into right intention, is pause. That's that moving into quiet, silence, however you can do that. And if that means you have to go sit in your car, do it, right? Maybe it's too chaotic in where you're at, so go sit in your car. Pause. Pray. Pray some more. Pause some more. Don't proceed until you are clear with your intention. Then proceed. It's so important. I found this, and I don't have an author, but it seems like it's coming from Native America and Native Americans. Walk as if the earth is kissing your feet. Isn't that? And I'm looking at our forest bathing people here. Walk as if the earth is kissing your feet. I've done a retreat with Martha Creek. She's very famous for us going on a silent walk and naming everything that your feet see. Gravel, dandelion, stone, oh, piece of wood, a bee, right? Getting into the presence, not present, presence, right? It is so important to be in that presence. And when you can walk as, God's calling. Somebody answer it. I'm here. Let him know. Yeah, maybe that's God sending you an email. Check it. You might be one of the 5%. Oh my gosh. Anyway, let's go to that next one. Okay, we're going to break this down. Prioritize your peace of mind. That's what's the Charlie Brown quote, right? Prioritize your peace of mind. Now, you all know that I am ultra get her done. I am an ultra purpose-driven person. I am purpose-driven. And that can drive my husband and my daughter, but guess what? My daughter is also purpose-driven. So I'll just say it drives her husband, Mike, and my husband, Michael, nuts, okay, because we're always, we're wired that way. And wired that way because of my parents, maybe. She's wired that way because of watching me. I don't know. Can't figure that for sure. But it brings me joy to have a purpose. So I can't imagine myself not having a purpose. And why am I saying that? Because being purpose-driven, I don't always prioritize peace of mind. Because I'm doing something to help somebody, and I'll go sit in quiet when I get time. And then, of course, I don't get time because I'm doing too much of this, too much answering texts, too much answering an email, too much phone calling, and not prioritizing this. It's easy to do, isn't it? Get distracted, right? Practice being calm when you feel like you're being challenged or tested. Yeah. Yeah, somebody's moving over there. You're being challenged and tested this weekend. Yes. Overreacting only creates regret. Think about that. When I overreact, and trust me, I do, and that is something I have got to keep working on, because I can be very reactionary, and if I don't practice the pause and pray, I will create and say something that I'm going to regret. Anybody else? Yeah. Take a few hours or days for things to clear out. Be emotionally intelligent so that you can be in the right state of mind to make better choices. Be emotionally intelligent. I did a whole couple of talks on this about EQ. You know, it's IQ, EQ, and then there's an SQ now, right? They're finding out that the IQ is not near as important as someone having emotional intelligence and then especially spiritual intelligence. That's why Unity has this huge educational arm that it was founded on, so that we can learn and grow emotional and spiritual intelligent beings that we're all craving to be. Think about a 4-year-old. They may not have such a high IQ, but they've got a high EQ and a high SQ, don't they? But then it gets buried somewhere under the well-meaning educational system or well-meaning parents or well-meaning ministers that need to tell them who they are not. So we're all trying to walk our way back home, aren't we? To the 4-year-old in us, that we've always been that way. Take a few hours or days for things to clear out. And I look at someone who is very purpose-driven as well. I can look at a lot of you that are purpose-driven out there. And it's very hard to take a couple of days to clear it out. I can't do that. I've got to da-da-da-da-da-da-da, right? Whatever that da-da-da is. It's important stuff. Let's go to the affirmation right now, because we're going to repeat this again. But I want you to see what I wrote here. I make a commitment to myself that no matter what, I will remain steadfast to be in peace. What does steadfast mean?
Really dedicated.
Absolutely dedicated. Absolutely intentional. Rock solid. I will remain rock solid, 100% in intention to be in peace. That's a big affirmation for the week, isn't it?
Yes.
Write it down if you can. We'll revisit it in just a minute. I've got a video for you. And talk about, this comes to me because it speaks to me of how little things can make a difference, and it's little things, little ordinary people doing extraordinary things. That's a good way of putting it. People doing extraordinary things. Let's show that next slide to end. It's a beautiful day to recommit to the habits that bring you focus, clarity, and peace. It's a beautiful day to recommit to the habits that bring you focus, clarity, and peace. It's all about intention. Next one, let's say our affirmation together. I make a commitment that no matter what, to myself, let's start it over. I make a commitment to myself that no matter what, I will remain steadfast to be in peace. Namaste. That this peaceful Christ presence in me truly sees and honors that peaceful Christ presence in each and every